Bedford Purlieus Wood is in the Nene Valley in Cambridgeshire, about 15 miles from Peterborough. 1800 years ago, this was one of the wealthiest areas of Roman Britain, and our site would have been on the outskirts of Dura Breve, the main trading centre in the region. But while most Roman sites around here have been damaged by modern ploughing, it looks like whatever's hidden in these woods could be really well preserved. Our challenge is simple enough. What were the Romans doing here? But thanks to the trees, finding out isn't going to be that easy. It's a nightmare for geophys. As you can see, we've strimmed a lot of the open areas, but we can't strim them all because the other problem is this is a national nature reserve and there's lots of protected plants here. John, you having a good day?
Wonderful.
For once, though, we don't have to wait for geophys, because in some places we can actually see Roman walls on the surface.
Look, this is silly. You can't have archaeology it's sticking above the ground. Yeah. It's not under the ground.
No doubt this is why the site was first discovered by an antiquarian back in the early 1800s. And it's because the remains are close to the surface that they've also shown up so well on this LiDAR picture. The colours, by the way, represent height, with green marking the low ground and white the highest. And we know that some of these buildings are Roman because a few test pits have been dug. But not enough to work out what was actually going on here. So we're opening these two trenches to try and solve the mystery.
This trench here is an extension of the test pit to see more of what's left of the Romans. So look at the condition of the Roman remains. This one is right at the other end of the site to see if it's the same type of structure down there.
It's great to see the trenches started so soon, especially for the local archaeologist who invited us here and is perplexed by this site.
I mean, the first thing is, it appears to be huge from the LiDAR. Yeah. I mean, it's a massive site, isn't it? But there's a fairly distinct range of what appear to be buildings running roughly north-south here. And you can possibly spot individual rooms within them. And then there's a probable courtyard out here. And then there's a whole load of pockmarked, these pits here, these quarry pits from the ironworking industry that we know was in this area.
All right then, at first glance, what do you reckon it might be?
Oh, is it a massive villa? Is it a massive industrial complex? Is it a military complex?
Or all of those?
Or all of them.
Or all of them.
And then there's the ironwork, as you said, all the pitting around it as well.
Well, if anyone can sort it out, my money's on Phil, who's now extending Ben's test pit and opening up a much bigger trench. This should give us a far better chance of working out what type of buildings we have here. We've also got this detailed plan of the earthworks drawn when the test pits were dug, but I'm not sure it's any help to us. There's a huge mismatch between the neatness of that map and what I can see on the ground. But look at that. Is that an earthwork, or is it part of this root system, or just a tumble of stones or something? I can't see any buildings here at all. Phil, are you sure we're digging in the right place?
What do you mean we're digging in the right place?
Well, look at that. Lovely and neat. Look at that. Chaos.
I don't actually regard that as extremely chaotic. Come and have a look.
Sorry, there's a rather large archaeologist in my eye line.
Look, we've got a nice long straight row here. It's all built of stone, and look, we've even got one stone on top of another stone. Now then, what would you call that?
It's a wall.
Thank you.
I eat my words.
That's right.
Join Time Team on Patreon to access exclusive 3D models, masterclasses and behind-the-scenes insights.